I'm attorney Nick Alcock, and if you're facing criminal charges, it can be a very stressful thing. And the prospect of going to court, being alone in court, is one of the most devastating things that can happen to a person. So if you're facing a criminal charge and you've got questions about how the system works in Arizona, what to expect, my law firm is happy to help you. There's some things that you should know at the very beginning of a case. First is that first court appearance is usually not trial. The court system allows you some amount of time to hire the right attorney if you're looking to hire the right attorney. If you don't have funds and you're facing jail time, the government can provide a public defender or a contract attorney. If you have the funds, the court might say, well, you're not eligible for a public defender, and they'll give you time to hire a private attorney. The vast majority of the time, that first couple court dates, they're just pretrial conferences. They're just initial appearances. The object of the exercise is to inform you of what your charges are, share some evidence with you, orient you to the general scheme of things. If you are facing a criminal case and you go to court, you don't have to sign a plea agreement at that first court appearance. Sometimes people panic and they go to court and they figure, well, if I say that I'm not guilty to a judge, I might get in trouble later if I change my plea to guilty. It doesn't work that way. You're given some amount of time. You got to take a deep breath and really think about your life. This is extremely important. And don't make a reflexive decision, which can be very hard to undo later. So if you have a court date coming, you can speak to multiple attorneys, you can learn the law, you can understand what your consequences are, and don't find yourself in that panic state, because people, when they're panicking, they make bad decisions. If you're facing, for example, a Class 1 misdemeanor DUI, you might panic because you go online and you see all of these sentencing guidelines that say that you can receive up to 6 months in jail. Very, very few people for first offense DUIs get 6 months in jail. Or say you're charged with a felony, Lord forbid, then you look at the sentencing chart and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm facing for a Class 4 felony, 3.75 years. Now, most people charged with a first offense felony don't spend 3.75 years for Class 4 felony, but that is the maximum. People panic and they kind of do whatever they need to do. Same thing goes if you're a family member and you have someone who's in custody. Before you mortgage your house, speak to a number of different attorneys. Before you make that impulsive, rash decision, you have a little bit of time to understand really how the system works. At my firm, one thing that we do, which has really, really helped our clients, is we provide certainty. We have a fee agreement, which is a flat fee. It's not by the hour, it's flat. We're gonna tell you how much it's gonna be, and it's not gonna change, and we're not gonna come back and say, okay, well now you owe us a lot more money for trial. So unfortunately, some attorneys, what they do is that they'll say, all right, it's going to be this amount of money at the beginning, and then if you go to trial, it's going to be this amount of money. And that amount of money extra is more than what you can afford. Now, if you can't afford that money, you can't afford that fee for trial, then the attorney can withdraw from representation and you're back to square one, but now you're meeting your public defender halfway through your case. And this causes people a lot of stress, a lot of panic. My firm, ever since I started, we've always been flat fee, no trial fees. You know what it is. You can compare our fees with anybody else. You'll find out that we're very affordable, and we really try to work with people, come up with payment plans that work, really try to help people and lower that stress. So once you leave the office, you're informed, you know what you're facing, you know how the system works. We got your back. We're going to cover you in those first court appearances. You're not going to be kind of fed to the wolves, and then we're not going to abandon you. We're not going to come back and say, no, now you owe us $15,000 for trial. And then next thing you know, you've lost your attorney and you're back with the public defender's office. We stick with our clients all the way through. So any type of case in Arizona, please give us a call, 602-989-5000. DUI, theft, kidnapping, drug cases, federal court, superior court. We have experienced former prosecutors that really understand how the system works. We also have an investigator who's a former police officer. We really understand the nuance of criminal defense in Arizona, and we're happy to help you. Again, the number 602-989-5000. Thanks so much for watching.